Very aerodynamic, which makes it more efficient. And then when you get under the hood here, you can see these are the from the electric motor. That's the most important part, the electric motor. And then the battery is in the trunk. One of the features of the car is the braking system. This big piece of metal right there behind the wheel, that's sort of shaped like this over the disc, that's the caliper, and the brake pads are inside of that. That's how much electricity you're using here, as opposed, and if you switch to gas, it switches to a gas. It switches like if I... And this is the only city in the United States so far where the cab companies and the city have worked together to bring a clean air fleet to the, into service. And I think that's really important, and I think that's really what makes this different than the other taxi industries in the other cities.
Of the way there every day, getting closer. Paul, I think we have a lot to be proud of. This is good momentum with a backdrop that was not so easy when we started. And that's why today we are announcing that already 55% of all of our taxi cabs are running on renewable fuels and are clean and green.
We are bound and determined to make electric vehicles a key part of our climate change strategy, because within the Bay Area, more than half of the greenhouse gas emissions come from transportation. Other parts of the country, nationally, it's far less than that. But in San Francisco and some other urban areas, it's more than 50%. We've got to have electric vehicles increasingly brought into the vehicle fleet in order to get those emissions down and to meet our climate goals. So
San Francisco has really tried to advance itself, not rhetorically, but substantively as a leader in terms of alternative fuel vehicles, but not just hybrids and not just compressed natural gas or biodiesel, but pure electric. From my perspective, halfway is no way, and that the real game-changing technology is pure electric vehicles.
We have a few offices in greater Detroit.
What have we got in here?
Well, this is your windshield washer fluid.
As mayor, I've been really trying to organize not just our city, San Francisco, but other municipalities. In fact, we have now 9 counties that have participated in a memorandum of understanding to create standardized charging stations throughout the entire region and to create a ubiquitous infrastructure for electric vehicles, because we don't want one-way trips out of town where you can't get back because you don't have a reciprocal charging station.
Well, it's probably not that difficult to outfit a region so that fleets of vehicles, taxis, delivery trucks, can be charged fairly easily. And that's because those vehicles tend to have routes around an area and they come back to the same place each night or during the day so they can be recharged. And taxis are a good example. They drive around a region. They tend to come back to a taxi pool in the evening. Some taxis, of course, go to people's homes, but most of them will come back to centralized pools. So there's a good place to charge them up again. In most places, the nighttime demand for power is much less than during the day. So the electricity supply system that's bringing in power to major cities, for example, tends to be used near its capacity during the daytime, but at night there's a lot of overcapacity. So bringing in more power at night is easy. It doesn't require more transmission lines, doesn't require other infrastructure. So you can charge up vehicles when the demand is low, nighttime, and use them largely during the day when the demand is much higher.